What is the agenda for today's classes? I'm going to have this session for next 60 minutes. What you will understand in the next 60 minutes is, first you will understand mm, a complete introduction to Power BI. In this session, 60-minute session, people will get an idea about introduction to Power BI. What is Power BI? What we can do with Power BI? You people will learn in the next 60 minutes of time. As part of this session, first you will learn what is Power BI. In order to understand Power BI, first you need to know data analysis, guys. First you will learn what is data analysis. Second, you will learn. Once you learn what is data analysis, then you will learn what is Power BI. Once you learn data analysis and Power BI, third thing you will learn is how to perform data analysis using Power BI. How to perform data analysis using Power BI. Okay. So these 3 points you people learn today. Anyone who need to learn Power BI, first you need to know about data analysis. Once you know about data analysis, then only you start learning Power BI. Okay. Let's start with what is data analysis. Tell me, guys. Online people, tell me what is data analysis. What you know about data analysis? What is data analysis? Uh, Tell me now. Anybody here? What is data analysis? Okay, I'll write one definition. There are many definitions for data analysis. I'll write one of the definition. What is the definition for data analysis is? Data analysis is a process which converts. What this process will do is data analysis is a process which converts business data into actionable information. Into what? Actionable information. Okay, I'll give the justification to this. I said that data analysis is one process. Process means, okay, when I said that data analysis is a process means collection of steps. Process means collection of steps. You have multiple steps in it. Let me show you what are the different steps available in data analysis. I'll just open one Word document here and I'll tell you what are the different steps available in the data analysis. If you see this image, data analysis have 5 steps here. Step 1, OLTPs. Step 2, ETL. Step 3, OLAP. Step 4, creating reports. Step 5, sharing the reports to the client. These are the 5 different steps you people will have in the data analysis. So this 5-step, to be more specific, I can tell data analysis is a 5-step process. 5-step process which converts the business data into actionable information. Okay. What are the 5 steps? I'll write it. First step. Okay. Let me show you another image where you will understand about data analysis much better. So data analysis, also known as business intelligence. Data analysis or business intelligence. Data analysis or business intelligence. Totally, it contains how many steps? 5 steps. What are the 5 steps? Wherever you see data analysis, wherever you see business intelligence, both are same. What are the 5 steps you have is, first step is OLTPs. Second step is ETL. Third step is OLAP. Fourth step is create reports or visuals. Fifth step is share them with clients. Share them with what? Clients. These are the 5 different steps available in the data analysis case. Right here. I'll just write, I'll make you understand each step. What is OLTPs? What is ETL? What is OLAP? What is this reports and visuals? Why we need to share them with clients? Each and every step I'll discuss in detail. Okay, now you people said that data analysis is a 5-step process. What are the 5 steps? First step is OLTP. Second step is ETL. Third step is OLAP. Fourth step is create reports. Fifth step is share reports to clients. Share reports to who? Clients. These are the 5 steps you have in the data analysis. We need to understand these 5 steps. Once you understand these 5 steps, then understanding Power BI become easy. It's easy for me to explain Power BI when you know these 5 steps. That is the reason I started here. Okay, now first, before I start explaining these 5 steps, okay, data analysis is there. It contains 5 steps. Who will use the data analysis is my question. Who will use data analysis? Who will use data analysis? Who use this data analysis means each and every company, each and every company will perform data analysis, no matter uh, if there are 100 companies, 100 out of 100 companies, imagine there are 100 companies, 100 out of 100 companies will perform data analysis. How many companies are there? All the companies perform data analysis. There are lakhs of companies. That lakhs of companies will perform this data analysis. Let me tell you, explain this point in detail. Take when there is any company, take when there is any company, tell me few random company names just to explain this line. Flipkart is one company, Amazon is one company. If I keep on writing the company names, I can add thousands and lakhs of companies, not one or two, thousands and lakhs. Uh, I will add this institute also. Analytics Benchmark is one company, and so on. Like this, if you keep on writing, I can write thousands and lakhs of company names. Okay, when there is any company, the company will do some business. You take any company that will do some business. Okay, you tell me Flipkart is doing what type of business? E-commerce business. Amazon is doing what type of business again? Same e-commerce business. ICICI is into what type of business? Banking business, banking or finance. Uh, Analytics Benchmark is into what? This training institute, we are into the education sector. You name any company, that company will do some business case like this. When a company is doing the business, from the business they'll get some business data. When a company is doing the business, from the business they'll get the business data. Take an example. When Flipkart is doing e-commerce business, they'll get a lot of business data. What is the business data? Flipkart will get orders related data, returns related data, products related data, customers related data, sales related data, and so on. If I keep on writing, I can write lot of other data also. In the same way, Amazon also doing e-commerce business, they might also get similar kind of data, right? Okay, like that. When ICICI is doing banking business, take an example, ICICI is doing banking business, they also get the business data. Tell me, when ICICI is into the banking sector, what are the data they'll get? They'll get day-to-day transactions data, they'll get savings account data, they'll get credit card data, they'll get loans data, they'll get insurance related data, and so on. I just write some random data. It will get a lot of other data also. You take analytics benchmark now. When analytics benchmark is doing into the education sector, we are doing we are into the education sector. We also get the business data. What is the business data for this training institute? For this training institute, first important business data is students data, students related data, staff related data, courses related data, fee related data, and so on. We also get a lot of data like this. You take any company, when you do the business, it produces a lot of business data. When it produces a lot of business data, that business data will be stored. Some companies will store the business data in where? Excel files. Some companies will store the business data in where? SQL Server database. Some companies will store the business data in where? Oracle database. Or in some other place also. Companies will store their business data in different places. I just write some examples here. But when a company is getting the business data, that will be stored wherever. When a company is getting the business data, they will store data. Wherever they will store the data, we call it as a data source. We call it as a data source. Some companies data will be stored in Excel. We call Excel as one data source. Some companies will store in SQL Server, data source. Some companies will store in Oracle. We call it as data source. Some companies will store in MySQL database. Some companies will store in DB2 database, and so on, guys. They will store the data in one database, one data source. Okay, data source might be anything. Once the company stored the data in data source, what they need to do is they want to analyze the data. They want to analyze the data. Analyze the data means they need to understand the data. Whatever the business data that was stored in the data source, they want to understand the data. Understand the data means, let's say, they want to understand where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. So like that, they need to understand. So understanding the data is nothing but analyzing the data. Any company want to analyze the data to take the decisions. Right here, companies need to analyze the data to take better business decisions. Companies need to analyze. Analyzing the data means understanding where we are performing good and where we are performing bad. That we call it as analyzing the data, guys. Companies need to analyze the data to take better business decisions. To take what? Better business decisions. In order to take better business decisions, we people need to analyze the data. Okay, so I said that let's say ICICI Bank is operating in 1,000 branches. Let me explain this line. When they're operating in 1,000 branches, they are planning to close 10 branches. What they are planning to do? They're planning to close 10 branches, guys. Someone tell me, when ICICI Bank is operating in 1,000 branches to close 10 branches, will they randomly pick 10 branches and close it, or how they will close it? They will not pick randomly 10 branches and close it. They'll take 1,000 branches data and they'll analyze the data. First, to understand which 10 branches to close, first they need to analyze the data. When they analyze the data, they'll understand which branches are doing good, which branches are doing bad, they'll understand. They'll go to the branches which are doing bad and they'll close it. And they'll close it. That's the point, guys. When ICICI is operating in 1,000 branches, in order to close 10 branches, first they need to analyze the data. Then only they'll take the decisions. That's what I said. Companies must and should need to analyze the data. Analyze the data. When they analyze the data, they'll understand where we are performing good and bad. Based on that particular one, we will take the decisions, take the better decisions. Okay, now, okay, to analyze the data, companies required something called reports. To analyze the data, companies required what? Report. To analyze the data, companies required reports. To analyze the data, companies required reports. Let me show you some sample reports. I said that any company, in order to analyze the data, they required something called reports. Let's try to understand how the reports will look like. app.powerbi.com. I'll just show you a couple of reports, how the reports will look like. Let me open a couple of sample reports. You need to get an idea now how the reports will look like. I just go here. This first one, I open one report. What is the title of the report? Is e-commerce sales report. When you look at this e-commerce sales report, try to understand the terminology. This complete one, I can call it as one report. Each one we call it as a visual. Line chart is one visual. Column chart is one visual. Donut chart is one visual. Bubble chart or scatter chart is one visual. Map is one visual. This card visuals. In the right hand side, slicer visuals. So all these visuals together, I can call it as report. Companies require this kind of reports to analyze the data, to understand where we are doing good and bad. Let me explain in simple. I'll just go to one of the visual here. You just go through this visual. This visual have what? This visual have what information is? This visual have subcategory wise sum of profits, guys. Subcategories and the related profits you have. When I look at this visual, I can understand where we are doing good and where we are doing bad. We can understand. Tell me, guys, which subcategories are doing good here? Copiers is the one which is generating highest profit here. Phones is the one which is generating second highest profit here. And which one is generating lowest profit is tables is the one which is generating the lowest profit. So tables is having the profit number as minus 18K. Profit number in negative is nothing but loss. Is what? Loss. I see suppliers bookcase also have negative numbers. They are nothing but losses. What you need to understand here, this kind of visuals will help us. This kind of visuals will help us where we are doing good and where we are doing bad. Where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. So we will understand by looking at this visuals, guys. Based on that, I can take some decisions. Once you understand where we are doing good and bad, based on that, I can take the decisions. Tell me, guys, you are seeing subcategory wise profits. One decision I'll take is I'll stop selling suppliers, bookcases, tables as they are getting the losses. One decision I taken is I want to stop selling them. Second decision I taken is I want to concentrate more on copiers business and phones business. They are generating more profits. They're generating what? More profits. Yes. Okay. So like this, this kind of reports. This is the report. Companies require this kind of reports to analyze the data. So just have an idea. This is a report. How the reports will look like, just have an idea. I said that companies require this kind of reports to analyze the data. This is another report. This kind of reports are required. Okay. In order to create the report, any company to create the report, it need to perform this complete data analysis process, guys. Companies, to create the reports, companies will perform data analysis process. Create reports, companies will perform data analysis process. Data analysis process. Okay. So let me conclude these 3 points. What you understand from these 3 points? Companies need to analyze the data to take the decisions. But to analyze the data, they require reports. But to create the reports, they need to perform data analysis process. Let me conclude these 3 points. You take any company, every company need to perform what? Every company need to perform data analysis. Why companies will perform data analysis is to create the reports. Every company will perform data analysis to create reports. People will think that we'll go and create the reports directly. No, guys, before you create the reports, first you do ETL, then you will create OLAP database, then you will create reports. This process, we call it as data analysis process. Companies will create the reports using the data analysis process, these steps. You'll understand that. Okay. Every company will perform data analysis to create the reports. Why companies will create the reports? To analyze the data. Companies will create the reports to analyze the data. Why companies need to analyze the data? To take better business decisions. To take what? Better business decisions. To take better business decisions, they need to analyze the data. To take better business decisions, they need to analyze the data. Here, any company who need to take better business decisions, to take better business decisions, they need to analyze the data. To analyze the data, they need to create reports, right? To create the reports, they need to perform the data analysis. Every company will perform data analysis. Using that, they'll create reports. That reports they'll use to understand the data. Analyze the data means to understand where they are performing good and bad. Once they understand where performing good and bad, based on that, they'll take the business decisions, right? And that is the flow, guys, here. Now we got an idea who will use the data analysis, right? Now let's try to understand this data analysis now. This 5 steps. This data analysis contains 5 steps. What are these 5 steps? We'll try to understand now. So before I explain who is data analyst, we'll try to understand in simple who is data analyst. Okay, we understand what data analysis is. One more word, when you are working with data analysis, you will be hearing about data analyst, right? Who is data analyst? Who is data analyst means the person who perform this data analysis is a data analyst, guys. The person who performs data analysis is a data analyst. Data analyst. The person who do this ETL, the person who create this OLAP database, the person who create the reports, the person who share the reports with the clients, that person name is what? Data analyst. Okay, just have an idea. Now, in data analysis, first step is OLTPs. Okay, let's try to understand what is this OLTP. Full form for OLTP. First, data analysis contains 5 steps, right? Out of 5 steps, first let me make you understand what is OLTP. What is OLTP is, full form for OLTP is online transactional processing. And I'll write the definition now. The place where companies store the business data, the place where companies stores business data, we call as OLTP. The meaning is, if why they are calling like that is, another name for business data is transactional data. Business data also called as what? Transactional data. You try to understand, if my company is storing the business data in SQL Server, I can call the SQL Server as one OLTP. If my company is storing the business data in the Oracle database, I can call Oracle as one OLTP. Wherever we store the business data, we call it as one OLTP. How you got the name is, I said that business data also call it as transactional data. Here, you people are storing transactional data. What you are storing here? You guys are storing transactional data. Wherever we store the transactional data, we call it as online transactional processing. In the name itself, you have transactional because it is storing transactional data. This online transactional processing, we call it as OLTP. So the place where my companies are storing business data or transactional data, we call it as what? OLTP. We call it as OLTP. Every company will have, every company will have one or multiple OLTPs, one or multiple OLTPs to store business data or transactional data. What are the companies that are running now? You name any company which are running. Every company will have one or multiple OLTPs, guys, to store their business data or transactional data. Why multiple? So some companies will store in multiple OLTPs also. What is the reason, you know? Some companies will store in multiple OLTPs. So what is the reason is, you take an example, ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank is there. ICICI Bank have different data. They'll have savings account data. They have credit card data. Might be they don't store both the data in single place. Instead of that, imagine they are storing savings account data in the SQL Server, credit card data in the Oracle. That means how many OLTPs they are storing? They are storing the data in 2 OLTPs. They are storing the data in 2 different OLTPs. That's what some companies will have only one OLTP. Some companies will have multiple OLTPs to store the business data or transactional data. Okay, here finally a company will have, I'll write bracket S case. A company will have either a single OLTP, or in the bracket when I write S, multiple OLTPs. That is the place where companies store their business data. Don't think much about OLTP. OLTP is just a name. Wherever my company is storing the business data, that I can call it as OLTP. This is just a name. Okay. Now what happens is, companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to the data analyst. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to data analyst and ask to create the reports. Ask to what? Create reports to analyze the data. So if the company will have, every company will have that OLTPs, right? They'll give that OLTPs to the data analyst. Once they give that OLTPs to the data analyst, they'll ask to create the reports. They'll ask to create what? Reports. So why they'll ask to create the reports? They'll ask to create the reports to analyze the data. Right, guys. So important point is, okay, it is never recommended to go and create reports directly on OLTPs. Okay, company, even though company provided OLTPs where they are storing the data, OLTPs will have the data in the form of tables. Imagine, even though you have OLTPs where you have tables, where you have business data, we don't create the reports directly on OLTPs. Tell me, guys, what is the reason? Note, I'll just tell you one note. Note, it is never recommended. It is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs. Why? So what is the reason? Someone tell me. There are many reasons. At least you tell me one reason. It is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs. OLTP was provided to the data analyst, and a client is expecting some reports using that. And I'm telling that it is never recommended to create reports. Online people, someone tell me why. Just tell me, guys. What is the reason we don't create reports using OLTPs? Fine. Online people, unmute and let me know. What is the reason we generally don't use OLTPs to create reports? OLTPs contains raw data or unstructured data. The major reason, there are many other reasons also. OLTPs contains raw data. Raw data also call it as unstructured data. Raw data or unstructured data. That unstructured data is not useful for creating the reports. I'll write raw data, or I'll write unstructured data. Unstructured data. That unstructured data is not useful for what? Creating the reports. Okay. So I'll tell you within few minutes, I'll tell you what is unstructured data. I'll show you practically what is that unstructured data. Now, so then what we will do is, then data analyst will create. Now, as OLTP is not useful for creating the reports, then what we will do is data analyst will go and create a new database. He'll create a new database called OLAP. He'll create a new database called what? OLAP. That OLAP we generally use for creating the reports. Now I'll write that point. Now, data analyst will create a new database. Will create a new database called OLAP to create reports, guys. OLAP to create what? Reports. We'll just go and now data analyst will create a new database called OLAP to create the reports. That let's try to understand this OLAP now. OLAP stands for online analytical processing. OLAP stands for what? Online analytical processing. So we will understand what this OLAP is. Generally, it's a new database which will be developed by data analyst, BI developers or data analyst. Okay, now what we will bring, this is a new database, right? We need to move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database. To move the data from OLTP, now currently business data is there in the OLTP. That data we need to move it to the OLAP. Then that data we need to use it for creating the reports. To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, we require some software called ETL, right? That point. To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, to move data from OLTP to OLAP, we will use ETL software. Guys, what software we will use? ETL software we will use. What ETL stands for? You'll get the clarity. Please concentrate. ETL stands for extract, transform, load. Using this kind of softwares, we will move the data. What data we will move? OLTP will have all the business data. But while moving the data from OLTP to OLAP, we need to move only data required for analysis. Only data required for what? Analysis. What data I need to use it in showing the reports? That data only I need to bring it to the OLAP. Right, that point? While moving the data from OLTP to OLAP, we need to move only data required for analysis. The meaning is, what data we need to show in the report, that data only I need to bring it. Let's imagine OLTP have 100 tables. Data is there in 100 tables. Out of 100 tables, in the reports, client want to see only 10 tables data. In the reports, when client want to see 10 tables data, tell me from OLTP to OLAP, will you bring all the 100 tables or only 10 tables? We don't bring all the 100 tables. We'll bring only 10 tables. The tables, what I need to use it for creating the reports. That we call it as data required for analysis. So OLAP stores only analytical data. It will store analytical data. Analytical data. So data required for analysis, we call it as analytical data. As it stores analytical data, we call it as online analytical processing. We call it as OLAP. When it comes to OLAP, OLAP will have structured data. What data you have? Structured data, not the unstructured. When it comes to OLAP, how the data will becoming structured? You said that OLTP have unstructured. That OLTP data only coming to the OLAP, how it is becoming to structured here? If you directly load from OLTP to OLAP, then you also get unstructured only. But you are moving the data to ETL, right? In the ETL process, you'll convert unstructured data to structured. E stands for extracting the data. T stands for transforming the data. The major work is transform here. Transform means converting the structured data into the unstructured format. So that data, clean data will load in the OLAP. Now, as OLAP contains structured data, I can use that OLAP for creating the reports. Okay, let's try to understand what is unstructured data and what is structured data with small example. I'll tell you first what is unstructured data, why it is not useful for creating the reports. Then I'll tell you what ETL tool will do, and what is structured data, I'll tell you. Why structured data is required to create the reports, we'll see. With small example. Logically, I'll explain. I'll just open one slide. Look at this slide. This is how the data will be generally in OLTP case. This is OLTP and this is OLAP. OLTP and OLAP. From OLTP to OLAP, data will move through ETL softwares. Here, generally, OLTPs will get the data from different people and different places. See, take an example, Amazon website is there. In Amazon website, one customer will place the order, or hundreds of customers will place the order. So hundreds of customers will place the order. In Amazon website, hundreds of customers will place the order. When hundreds of customers are placing the order, let's say I ask my customers to write their country name. One customer write the country name like United States. Second customer write the country name like US. Third customer write U.S.US.USA. Each customer enter their country name in different formats. Generally, OLTP will get the data from different people. Different people might input the data in different ways. So one person enter like United Kingdom, other person like enter like UK. So here, when the data is in different formats, we call it as unstructured data, guys. You have country-wise sales. Here in the OLTP, I see the data in the unstructured format. But the same data, when I move it to the OLAP, here in ETL tools, will convert US to United States. You'll convert U.S. to also United States. Convert to US dot also into United States. USA into United States. UK into United Kingdom. So what we do here, we transform the data into a consistent format. Now, when you go to OLAP have the data in the structured format. How I am telling structured format? Every country name is in the same format. That is the reason structured. Here, each country name in different format. That is the reason unstructured. Now, you guys got an idea why OLTP is getting. See, if you take any company, when ABC company is there, ABC company is getting the business data, it will be stored here in the OLTP. So in the ABC company, one person will not enter the data. Different people will enter the data here from different places. That data will come here, sometimes unstructured format. Okay, that's what. So when you got the data unstructured, this is how the data will look like. You need to take this data to the ETL softwares. In the ETL softwares, you need to clean the data or transform the data. Clean or transform the data into the structured format. Now go to the next slide. In the next slide, what I'm showing is, this is OLTP. I'm trying to create the visual directly on OLTP. I create this visual and trying to show country-wise sales. When I try to show country-wise sales, this visual is, when I share this visual with my company people said this visual is wrong. Someone tell me why this visual is wrong. Using OLTP, when I create the visual country-wise sales, when I share the visual with my company people are telling this visual is wrong. Tell me what's wrong in this visual, online people. You people tell me what's wrong in this visual. What's wrong in this visual is, so
That
my
is
company is
unstructured.
expecting,
That is unstructured data, sir.
so what's wrong in this
Unstructured.
visual is, they're expecting to see, they're doing the business in only 2 countries. But here it is showing 7 country names and it is showing 7 sales values. But they're not expecting this. They're expecting only 2 countries and their 2 sales values. The problem is not with the report. The problem is with this data. Data is, if you pass this unstructured data, when you try to create the reports, you don't get in the proper format. Okay. Now next, go to the next slide. When I go to the next slide, this is OLAP, guys. Now this is OLAP. I try to create this report on OLAP. same country-wise sales I'm showing. When I show same country-wise sales here, it will group all the United States as one value, and it will sum all the sales value, and it will show it here. So the five United States, five, I group it into one, and when it sum these numbers, it will come as 1500. It will group United Kingdom as one value, and 100 plus 200, 300. When I share this visual with the company people, my company people said this visual is correct. We are doing the business in two countries. United States is doing more sales. United Kingdom is doing less sales. And they can do some analysis and take the decisions here. They can do some analysis and take the decisions here. That's what, guys. Okay. So we'll discuss a lot of things. Now I given a small example. When OLTP have unstructured data, when you try to create the report, I explain report is getting wrong results. Yes, when you try to create the report directly on unstructured data, you'll get the wrong results. What you need to do, you need to take the data to the ETL softwares and you need to clean the data. That clean or transform the data. That clean data or transformed data, we need to store it in OLAP database. The clean or transformed data, we need to use it for creating the reports. Creating what? Reports. This is the flow, guys. You people tell me, I'm showing a couple of reports here, right? These are reports. We'll create these reports on OLTP or OLAP. Online people, you tell me, this kind of reports will create on OLTP or OLAP? These reports we will be creating on OLTP or OLAP. We always create the reports on what? OLAP. We don't create the reports on what? OLTP. We always create the reports on OLAP, guys. Okay, that's fine. The next step is, fine. Now, the information which we shown in the report, we call it as actionable information. Okay. The information which you are showing, okay, I created the reports, right? The information what we seen in these reports, I'm seeing subcategory wise sales here, profit, right? The information what you seen in the visuals, we call it as actionable information. Tell me, guys, why we call it as actionable information means by using the data in the visual, we will take actions or decisions. Companies will take the actions or decisions based on the data available in visuals, right? That is the reason we call it as actionable information. Right, that point? Based on the data available in the visuals, based on the data available in visuals, companies will take, based on the data available in the visuals, companies will take actions or decisions. That is the reason we call it as actionable information. That is the reason we call as actionable information. Okay. We just call it as, that is the reason we call it as actionable information, guys. The information which we've seen in the reports, we call it as what? Actionable information. Now go and read the definition of data analysis, what I given. Now you will get the idea. What is the definition I given for data analysis is? I said that data analysis is a 5-step process. This 5-step process name is data analysis, which converts business data into what? Actionable information. Business data will be stored in the OLTP. Actionable information will be stored in the reports. To convert the business data into actionable information, first we need to do ETL. Then we need to create OLAP database. Then we need to create reports. Right, guys. Now, then finally that reports we will share with the clients. Now we got an idea what is data analysis. In the last few minutes, we understand what is data analysis, who will use the data analysis, we understand. Now we'll try to understand what is Power BI. I said that once you understand data analysis, understanding Power BI become easy now. What is Power BI? So who developed Power BI? Microsoft is the company who developed Power BI. Microsoft Power BI. Microsoft developed Power BI for what purpose? Okay, Microsoft is the company who developed Power BI. Microsoft developed this Power BI for what purpose? Microsoft Power BI. Microsoft developed Power BI for what purposes? To perform data analysis, guys. To perform. Microsoft understand that every company need to perform data analysis. Every company is performing data analysis. To perform the data analysis, Microsoft developed Power BI. Microsoft Power BI. Okay. So now, first point I need to tell about Power BI is Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Uh, so I said that Power BI is used to perform these 5 steps. Using Power BI, we can do ETL. Using Power BI, we can create OLAP database. Using Power BI, we can create reports. Using Power BI, we can share the reports with the clients. This 5 steps, this data analysis, I can do it in Power BI. Microsoft developed Power BI to perform that 5 steps, data analysis. Okay, Power BI is the name for collection of softwares which are used to perform data analysis, which are used to perform what? This is the definition for Power BI. Okay. Now, I said that Power BI contains collection of softwares in it. Let me write what are the different softwares available in Power BI. First software available in Power BI is Power BI Desktop. Second software available in Power BI is Power BI Service. Power BI Service. Third software available in Power BI is Power BI Report Server. Power BI Report Server. Fourth software available in Power BI is Power BI Mobile. Power BI Mobile. So these are the different softwares available in Power BI. 4 softwares. Microsoft is calling this 4 softwares. I can call this as collection of softwares. For this collection of softwares, Microsoft given the name called Power BI. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares, guys. Okay. Next point. So out of this 4 software, the most important software is Power BI Desktop. Even though 4 softwares are there, major software is Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is a development software in Power BI. It's a development software in Power BI. So 90% of time we will work in Power BI Desktop only. Power BI Desktop is a development software where Power BI developer will work 90% of his time, guys. Okay. Now try to understand. Power BI Desktop, to make you understand much better, I'll open Power BI architecture. This is the Power BI architecture slide. You'll get the clarity about this slide. So we are talking about Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop again contains 3 more softwares. In Power BI Desktop, first you will have Power Query. Second, you have Power Pivot. Third, you have Power View. Write that point. Power BI Desktop again contains 3 more softwares. What are the 3 more softwares you have? First one you have is Power Query. Second software we have is Power Pivot. Power Pivot. Third software we have is Power View. Power View. These are the different softwares totally available. I just write all the softwares first here. We need to make use of all these softwares, and we need to perform this data analysis. We know that data analysis contains how many steps? We guys know, just a second, guys. We guys know data analysis contains how many steps is? The data analysis contains these 5 steps, guys. So to perform these 5 steps, we have the softwares. Let me tell you one point before I explain. You people join here to learn Power BI, right? All these people join to learn Power BI. To learn Power BI, how much time it will take? To learn Power BI, it will take 2 months of time. My team said that to learn Power BI, it will take 2 months of time. Once you learn, if you join this course, when you learn Power BI for 2 months, you will become a Power BI data analyst. Power BI data analyst. After you learn Power BI for 2 months, you are the Power BI data analyst. You will go and join in one company. You will join the company. You will join in. You become a Power BI data analyst, right? You will join in one company. What you need to do in that company? What you need to do is you need to use Power BI and you need to perform data analysis. Power BI data analyst need to use the Power BI and need to perform these 5 steps. Okay, it's as simple as that. Now tell me, who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst? Okay, now I'll tell you. I already listed what are the different softwares available in Power BI, right? Now using these softwares, how to perform this ETL, I'll tell you. Now, first, who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst? First, you tell me that point. Who will provide this OLTP to the Power BI data analyst? Who? Company will provide, right? Company will provide. To the Power BI data analyst, company will provide the OLTP. Okay, once company provided the OLTP, what is the next step Power BI data analyst need to do? He need to do the ETL. Okay, this OLTPs will be provided by the company. They have unstructured data. They need to clean it. We need to do the ETL. Next step, Power BI data. Where he will do the ETL in Power BI is, there are many softwares, right? Uh, among many software, which software we generally use to do this ETL is Power Query. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. ETL software in where? Power BI is. Okay, Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI, right? So you can see this architecture slide. Power Query is what software? ETL. Who will provide this? OLTPs, also known as data sources. Wherever companies are storing their business data, I can call them as either OLTPs, I can call them as data sources. Wherever you read OLTP, wherever you read data source, both are same. That is the place where companies store the business data. Companies will provide this OLTPs, and first step, Power BI developer need to do ETL in Power Query. Using Power Query, will connect to this OLTP, will extract the data. In Power Query, you will transform the data. The transformed data we will load into Power Pivot. Load into where? Power Pivot. Okay, we understand OLTPs will be provided by the company. ETL will be performed in the Power Query. What is the next step? Creating OLAP database. Where we will create the OLAP databases? We'll create the OLAP database in Power Pivot case. Next step. So write that point. Power Pivot is a database. Power Pivot is a database which is used to create OLAP. You see here how SQL Server is one database, how Oracle is one database. Here Power Pivot is also one database. Power Pivot is also what? It's a database. Okay. How we guys will store the data in SQL Server in the form of tables? How we will store the data in Oracle in the form of tables? In Power Pivot also will store the data in the form of tables because it's a database. It's a database. You extracted the tables. In Power Query, you transform the data in the tables. You load the tables to Power Pivot. Whatever the tables I loaded into Power Pivot, they will store in the Power Pivot here, right? Using the tables, I'll create OLAP. Whatever the tables I load, I create OLAP. Okay, you'll understand more about it. Okay, ETL will be performed in the Power Query. OLAP database will be created in the Power Pivot. What is the next step? Creating the reports. In Power BI, where we will create the reports is using a software called Power View. Now, next point is Power View is a software. Power View is a software which is used to create reports. Create what? Reports. That's what I said, guys. Power BI desktop, Power BI developer, 90% of time, he will work in desktop only. Remaining three softwares, together 10% of time only. What is the major software here? Power BI desktop. These are small softwares. Power BI service, Power BI report server, Power BI mobile. They are small softwares. Major one is Power BI desktop, where we can do in Power BI desktop only. You will do ETL in Power Query. You will create OLAP database in Power Pivot. You will create reports in Power View. Major work you done in desktop only. Now, okay, last step is we need to share the reports to the clients. In order to share the reports to the client, unfortunately, Power BI desktop cannot share the reports directly to the clients. Power BI desktop don't have an option to share the reports to the clients, guys. Whatever the reports we developed in the Power BI desktop, we need to publish it to either Power BI service. From there, we need to share with the clients, or we need to publish it to Power BI report server. From there, we need to share with the clients, right? Understand here, to share the reports with the clients, either we need to use Power BI service, or either we need to use Power BI report server. Okay, what is the meaning is, whatever the report you created in the Power View, first either we need to publish it to Power BI service, and from there we need to share it. Publish means we need to move, or we need to move it to Power BI report server and we need to share it. Now you might need to get one question here. To do ETL, I have only Power Query. To create OLAP database, I have only Power Pivot. To create reports, I have only Power View. But to share the reports to the clients, why there are Power BI service and report server? Two softwares are there. Why there are two softwares which are doing the same work, duplicate? Here, what is the difference is, one is a cloud-based software. Second one is a on-premise software. One is cloud and second one is what? On-premise software. One is cloud, second one is on-premise case. One is cloud-based software. Second one is what? On-premise software. We can publish it either to cloud or we can publish it either to on-premise and we can share it. No company will use both cloud and on-premise. Some companies will use cloud, some companies will use on-premise. 99% of the companies will use cloud. Only 1% of the companies, they'll use on-premise. Right, that point? What is the difference is Power BI service is a Azure cloud-based software which is used to share reports to the clients. 99% of the companies, 99% of the clients, they are using this. Power BI report server is a on-premise software which is used to share reports to the client. Only 1% they are using. Only 1% of people, 1% of clients, they are using it. Okay. So now what we understand in Power View, after creating the reports, most of the companies will publish it to Power BI service. From there, they'll share with the clients. Okay, once we share the reports to the clients, where the clients can see that reports. Once we share the reports to the client, where the clients can see the report is. Once you publish and once you share the report to the client, clients can see the reports using laptops. Clients can see the reports using the desktops. Clients can see the reports in mobile phones also. Whatever the reports we developed, right? These reports clients can see. Whatever the reports you guys are seeing here, they can see in the laptop like this. This is the laptop where I am seeing. The same report they can see in the desktop. The same report they can see in mobile also. You will have a mobile layout. You will have a mobile layout. In the mobile, they will see the report like this. In the mobile, they will see this report like this. Like this report, they can view from many places, guys. Right. So here, in order to see the report using mobile, we need a mobile app. Most of the people, once you share the reports to the clients, okay, from here I share the reports to the client. Client will like to see the report in mobile phones itself. In order to see the report in the mobile, they require a mobile app. What is the mobile app we have is Power BI Mobile is the mobile app. Power BI Mobile, it's a mobile app. Power BI Mobile, it's a mobile app, guys. Power BI Mobile, it's a mobile app. It's a mobile app. When I go to Play Store or App Store, when I search with the name called Power BI Mobile, you'll see a mobile app. It's a mobile app which is used to see the reports, in where? Mobiles, guys. Either mobiles or either tabs or either iPads. If you want to see in either of these places, mobiles or tabs or iPads, I require a mobile app. We have mobile app for iOS. We have mobile app for iOS. We have mobile app for Android. We have mobile app for Windows. We have mobile app for what? Windows. So now we understand these are the different softwares available in Power BI. Using the softwares, I can perform this 5 steps clearly. OLTPs will be provided by my companies. ETL will be performed in Power Query. OLAP database will be created in Power Pivot. Reports will be created in Power View, and that reports will share with the clients. Will share with the clients using mostly Power BI service, guys. Now I clearly explain. Now you understand Power BI is the name for collection of softwares that are used to perform data analysis. Okay, now you understand what is data analysis and what is Power BI. Now let me consolidate these 2 points into one. How to consolidate these two into one is, now the last point we will learn is how to perform data analysis using Power BI. First step is OLTPs. In data analysis, first step is OLTPs, which was provided by the companies. I'm just consolidating how to do data analysis in Power BI in 2 lines. Second step in the data analysis is ETL. Where we do ETL in Power BI, you will do ETL in Power BI using Power Query. Using what? Power Query. Next step after ETL is creating OLAP database. Here you will create OLAP database in Power BI using Power Pivot. Using Power Pivot. Once after creating OLAP, next step is create reports. Create reports, where you will create reports in Power BI using Power View. Using Power View, you will create the reports. Once you create the reports, we need to share the reports to the clients. How to share the reports to the clients is, next step is we need to share reports to clients. In order to share the reports to the clients, how you can share the reports to the clients in Power BI service using Power BI service, guys. In order to get the job on Power BI, what you people need to learn, in order to get the job on Power BI, first you need to learn how to do ETL in Power Query. Okay, this data will be provided by the companies. You don't need to learn anything about this. First thing you need to learn is, you need to learn how to perform ETL in the Power Query, how to create OLAP database in the Power Pivot, how to create reports in the Power View, how to share the reports to the clients using Power BI service. When you learn this, you will get the job as a Power BI developer, guys. Okay, this is all about how to perform data analysis using Power BI. So technically, we have done the demo. I'll tell you some important points to get the job on Power BI. To get the job on Power BI, I'll discuss some important points. Uh, I'll just discuss some important points to get the job on Power BI, guys. These are general points. This is not related to any Power BI. These are just some general points which you need to aware of to get the job on Power BI. To get the job on Power BI, you people need to aware of this general point, guys. First general point you need to know is, I'll just copy paste it. Instead of typing them, I'll just go to previous demo. I'll just copy paste them. It will not take much time. I hardly take another few minutes. I'll complete this. When I'm going to start the new batches, first point, let me complete when I'm going to start the new batch. I'm going to start the new batch 25th. What is this, guys? It's wrong. So unfortunately, we don't have these timings. I'm going to start the new batch coming Wednesday. I'm going to start the new batch coming Wednesday. Coming Wednesday is 4th March. 4th March 2026. Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. I'm going to start the new batch. This is the new batch which is going to start in the coming days. Okay. You can attend 2 more classes for free. Continuation to today's classes on next Wednesday. You can attend another 2 sessions for free. However, you attended today's class for free, 4th and 5th, Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday as well as Thursday. So sorry guys, not even Wednesday. I'm going to start this batch on 3rd March. It is Tuesday itself. Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. morning timings, guys. You can attend 3rd and 4th classes for free. 3rd and 4th 2 classes you can attend free. And I'll start in the classes practicals. Where Power BI developer work will start. Okay, we know that this data will be provided by the company. Our work will start in Power BI desktop, guys. Our work will start in where? Power BI desktop. In the next class, I'll tell you how to install Power BI desktop. We want to start the practicals. To start the practicals, first you need to install Power BI desktop. Then I'll tell you how to open Power Query, how to do ETL. Practically, I'll show you. Then I'll show you in Power Pivot how to create a OLAP database. Then I'll show you in Power View how to create visual reports. Then I'll show you how to publish the reports to Power BI service and how to share the reports to whom? Clients. This complete process, you guys will learn practically in the next 2 free classes itself. To practically at a high level, how the Power BI software will work, you will learn in the next 2 free classes. You please join 3rd and 4th class and you can decide. Now, within 2 minutes, within few minutes, I'm going to share one mail with you. The mail will contains 4 things. What are the 4 things the mail will contains is recorded session, notepad. I recorded this video. I share this in the mail. My team have all your email IDs. Through that email IDs, I'll share this recorded video. I'll share this notepad also. Whatever I written in the last 1 hour, I'm going to share this notepad. And we also share introduction class Word document. Every class materials you will get. Every class will have a material Word document. Class wise, you will get a Word document. Today we have introduction, right? This is the introduction class Word document. I'm going to attach this introduction class Word document also. Okay, once after this, I also attach course content. I'll cover this course for 60 hours of time. So duration, what I'm going to cover in the 60 hours, you'll find in this course content. This is the course content. I'll attach this course content in the mail. This course content have 11 pages. 11 pages. You please walk through the 11 pages so that you will understand what are the topics I'll cover. Whatever the topics I listed in this 11 pages, I'll cover for 60 hours of time with the practical real-time scenarios. Okay. Now, I'll not go and walk through the complete course content, guys. But I'll tell you the breakdown, high-level breakdown, what I'll discuss. Now, every day, you'll have classes from Monday to Saturday, daily 1 hour. Your class timings is what? 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Every day, class will start at 7:30 a.m. and it ends on 8:30, daily 1 hour. So Saturday, Monday to Saturday classes will be there, right? So that it will take more than 2 months of time to complete the 60 hours of classes. What you will learn in the 60 hours is, in the 60 hours, you will learn how to perform data analysis using Power BI. You learn 60 hours more than 2 months. Once you learn 60 hours more than 2 months, this Power BI course, you can comfortably keep 3 to 5 years of experience on Power BI. I'll just promise you, you people can comfortably keep 3 to 5 years of experience once you are done with this curriculum, guys. Okay, we know that. So this 2 lines will tell you how to perform data analysis using Power BI. To do this, you will learn 60 hours. First, we know that OLTPs will be provided by the company. First step, Power BI data analysts need to do is ETL in the Power Query. You need to learn how to do ETL in Power Query. So you will start learning Power Query for 13 hours of time, where you will learn all the ETL activities, how to do. So you will do the ETL using a language called mashup language, M language or mashup language. That is the first step. Second step is creating OLAP database in the Power Pivot. You people will learn Power Pivot for 17 hours of time, where you will learn how to create OLAP databases. While creating OLAP database, you will learn data modeling concepts, data warehousing concepts, and DAX language. And what? DAX language, one of the important language you will learn in Power Pivot. So once after creating OLAP, we need to create the reports in Power View. We will create the reports. We will start learning Power View for 17 hours of time, how to create the reports. Once after creating the reports, you need to start learning how to share the reports to the clients using Power BI service. So we will start learning Power BI service for 13 hours of time, where you will learn Azure cloud concepts, where you will learn admin concepts, where you will learn Power BI project case, right? So in this course, you not only learn the topics available in Power BI, what add-ons you will learn in this course is, you will learn real-time projects. In this course, you will learn real-time projects. Yes, guys. You not only learn, let me show you how the real-time projects will be. I'll just show you one project. This kind of projects you will do it. What is the title of the project? Is Retail AB project. In this project, you are going to take the data from SQL Server database. And as per the requirements, we do ETL. As per the requirements, we'll create OLAP databases like this. This will have a lot of requirements in this document. As per the requirements, we'll generate the reports and so on, guys, and so on. Right. So you will learn real-time projects. So one more point before I explain remaining points. Let me discuss who are the people eligible to learn this course. Who can learn this course? Who can learn this courses? Freshers can learn this Power BI course. Freshers means who completed their education around 3 years. Around 3 years, they will consider like freshers. Freshers can learn Power BI and they can try the job on Power BI as a fresher. And uh, who is the second category of people can learn Power BI is career break or career gap. If you complete your education greater than 3 years, so like 4 years back or 5 years back, they don't consider your profile as a fresher. If you have gap more than 3 years, they don't consider as a fresher. So you have a career break. So you people can learn this Power BI, and you need to keep the experience, guys. You need to keep around 3 years of experience. How to keep this 3 years of experience is some consultancies will provide it. So you'll go to some consultancy, you'll get the experience, and you'll keep it. That is career break or career gap people. And the third category of people who can learn this Power BI is career transition. Career transition means already you are working. You are working. You are working in other technologies. You are working in other technologies, but there is no jobs in the technologies. You are planning to switch into Power BI. Yes, uh, the we are transitioning from one job to another job, right? This kind of people also can learn Power BI. For this, people also want to keep 3 years experience on Power BI. If we will tell, even though you are working in other domain, other technology, you will tell that from last 3 years you are working on Power BI, and you'll showcase that experience, and you'll look for the Power BI job. So both freshers, career break people, career transition people can learn Power BI. But career break or career transition people must and should want to keep some experience. Minimum 3 years experience they need to keep. Okay, guys. Now, these are the people who can learn Power BI. So there are a lot of people who join my course. They will join through, I know that they have career break or career transition. Very less people, there will be freshers. So for these people, you need to know Power BI developer roles and responsibilities. As you are going to keep this two category of people will keep 3 years of experience. When they want to keep 3 years of experience, they need to know Power BI developer roles and responsibilities in the project. We will discuss what are the different roles and responsibilities a Power BI developer will have. Power BI developer will have what type of roles and responsibilities we guys will discuss, guys. And we not only discuss Power BI developer roles and responsibilities, will help you in preparing resumes. If you are a fresher, how to prepare the resume. If you have career break, how to prepare the resume. You want to do career transition, how to prepare the resume. We'll talk to you one-on-one and help you in preparing your resumes, guys. And we also provide a lot of interview questions, and we'll discuss them. And we'll conduct mock interviews. Once you are done going through all this, you can comfortably keep 3 to 5 years of experience. And importantly, all 60 hours of recorded sessions we will share with you. And when you are doing the practice, to answer your questions, we'll have a separate support team. You don't need to wait for the trainer. You can reach out to the support team. They'll help you to clarify your question. Okay? Fine. This is what you are going to get in the next 60 hours. Final conclusion is you will learn how to perform data analysis using Power BI for 60 hours of time, more than 2 months. After that, you can comfortably keep 3 to 5 years of experience. That level you will learn technically in this course. Okay, now I'll go with the questions, guys. A common question students will ask is, any prerequisite to learn Power BI? Any prerequisite here to learn Power BI is the question. Okay, there are a lot of people here coming from non-IT background. They don't have prior computer knowledge. So they will have a doubt. In order to learn Power BI, do you need to have any prior computer knowledge? Means strictly I can say there is no prerequisite to learn Power BI. Some people will think that when I know Excel, then only I can learn Power BI. Even you don't know anything about Excel, you can start learning Power BI. Some people will think that when I know SQL, then only I can learn Power BI. Even if you don't know SQL, you can start learning Power BI. In order to start learning Power BI, there is no prerequisite case. Even a non-IT guy or even intermediate person join this Power BI course. I'll teach them from very basic to the project level in the 60 hours of sessions. Okay, to learn Power BI, there is no prerequisite. But to get the job on Power BI, must and should, we need to know SQL, guys. If I go and check the Power BI jobs in Naukri or LinkedIn, when I go and search the Power BI jobs, almost 90% of Power BI jobs, you will see Power BI plus SQL combination only. Okay. So most of the Power BI jobs you will have in the Power BI plus SQL combination. Some jobs you will have Power BI plus SQL Excel. Some jobs Power BI plus SQL Power Apps, Power BI SQL plus ADF, Power BI plus SQL plus Python, Power BI plus SQL plus Tableau. this combination is just 10%. The major combination is Power BI plus SQL combination. If you see every Power BI job, SQL is mandatory. Let's try to understand why SQL is mandatory in Power BI. Okay, what is SQL stands for is, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It's a common language used in all the databases. You take any database, all these databases will understand one common language called what? SQL. Any database, the common language. Today, I use a common language to explain this course, English, right? So here, for all the databases, they understand one common language like SQL. Now, so what is the SQL? Why it is important in Power BI? In Power BI development, nowhere I'll use SQL. Try to understand. SQL will not use to extract the data. In Power Query to do ETL, I don't use SQL. In Power Pivot to create OLAP database, I don't use SQL. In Power View to create the reports, I don't use SQL. To publish the reports to Power BI service and to share the reports to the clients, I don't use SQL. Throughout the Power BI space, I don't use SQL anywhere. When I don't use SQL anywhere in Power BI, but why every Power BI job they're asking to have SQL skills? Online people, anybody knows? I said that nowhere in Power BI development, I don't use SQL. Even if you don't know SQL, you can complete the Power BI project. Without knowing SQL, we can complete Power BI project. Why? Because how can we complete the Power BI project without knowing SQL? By knowing Power BI, you can complete it. You don't need SQL because nowhere in the Power BI, I don't use SQL. But okay, when you can complete the Power BI project without SQL, with only Power BI, why with only Power BI we don't have jobs? Anybody, online people, anybody knows?
Maybe most of the companies are using SQL Server to store their business data, to
Okay.
extract the data and
In Power BI, to extract the data from SQL Server, I don't write single line of SQL code. With 2 clicks, we can connect to SQL Server, we can extract the tables. No need to write any SQL code. That's what I said. Even if it is storing the business data in the SQL Server, even if it is storing the business data in the Oracle, to bring the data into Power Query, I don't write any SQL. With 2 clicks, I can connect and bring the data. I can do complete project without SQL. What is the other reason? That is not the reason. Yes, guys. What is the other reason? What is the other reason is, most of the companies will store the data in databases. Some companies will store in SQL Server database. Some companies will store in Oracle database or some other database, MySQL database or DB2 database or some database. They'll store the data. You will take the data from database. In Power Query, you will do ETL. In Power Pivot, you will create OLAP. In Power View, you will create reports. How can you blindly tell your report is correct? There is chance in Power Query you will do the mistake. There is chance in Power Pivot you will do a mistake. There is a chance in Power View you will do the mistake. You might be showing the wrong number here. How to test this number is correct or not? Okay, you take the data and you show the data in report. We need to, whatever the numbers you are showing in the report, I need to test that numbers are correct or wrong. How can you test that numbers are correct or wrong? Tell me, guys. How can you test this numbers are correct or wrong in the report? How can you test these numbers are correct or wrong is, to test these numbers, you need to go to this database. This databases can understand only one language called SQL. Using SQL language, you need to write the queries. That queries will give the output. That output you need to compare with the report output. When the SQL queries output is same as report output, then only your report is correct. Then you need to share that report with the clients. See here, to develop the reports, we don't require SQL. But to share the reports, to test the reports, we need SQL, guys. So nowhere in the development phase, we don't use SQL. After I develop the report, whether my numbers are correct or not, by writing a SQL query here, you need to cross-check. That is what I written here. To test the report, data in the reports, we need SQL. So in order to learn SQL, you need to learn any of this database. You go and learn any database, SQL concepts are same. In our institute, we teach MySQL database, where you will teach SQL concepts for 30 hours of time. Okay, 30 hours you will learn it. So you will learn Power BI. In order to get the job on Power BI, you need to learn not only Power BI for 60 hours, you also need to learn SQL concepts for 30 hours. These are my front office team members. If you have any questions about the courses, you can reach out to them. Now I'll go with the questions, guys. Anybody have any questions from the demo? I'm done with the demo. We'll go with the questions now.